Well, greetings, friends, and welcome to today's Extraordinary Connection. My name is Pastor Devin, and I serve the wonderful congregation here at Romeo UMC, and I'm glad to have you joining me for this time today. And today I'm going to throw a word out there that maybe you've heard before. It's been stuck in my thoughts for the past at least week or so, and if you happen to be at annual conference back in 2017, you may remember the Reverend Susan Beaumont's teaching sessions, and they were titled Leading in a Liminal Season. And that's the word that has been stuck in my mind, liminal. Now, if you aren't familiar with that, it's okay. And I looked it up just to get the simple definition, and the simple definition of liminal is relating to a transitional or initial stage of a process, or occupying a position at or on both sides of a boundary or threshold. It's a kind of place of in between, knowing that change is coming, yet not quite being there yet. Seeing that something new awaits us on the horizon, yet acknowledging that it isn't here yet. And I have no doubt as to why that word has been stuck in my brain. As I shared last week, there are some pretty big changes on the horizon for me and my family as we prepare to welcome a new child into the world. We are definitely in a liminal season, knowing what is to come, yet not quite being there yet. And outside of my immediate family, I think I see a similar liminal season in my role as pastor at the church and maybe for our society as a whole right now. We are at a point where maybe we are able to see that glimmer of light at the end of this long, dark tunnel. A time when we are hoping and expecting things will be changing. Coming up on a year of pandemic living, it really has all of us hoping for brighter days ahead. But right at this moment, we find ourselves in that liminal time, the time between. And please do not get me wrong. I look forward very much so to the days when phrases like social distancing and proper mask wearing will be a thing of the past. To the days when we will be able to not only worship in our sanctuaries, but to embrace in hugs and handshakes, to gather around the tables for a cup of coffee or to share in that potluck meal. I'm sure we all have some casserole dishes that are feeling quite neglected since they haven't been to the church in some time. But I also want to take a moment today to encourage each of us that even as we are in this between time, this time of hoping for the days that lie ahead, that we not let these days that we are in pass us by. To not be wishing away these days, hoping or looking to days that are to come, that we can use these days we are given with purpose. Each night at bedtime, I sit down with my kids to read a story from one of their storybook Bibles. And on a recent evening, we opened to the words found in Ecclesiastes 3. And they spoke to me as I read them, so I wanted to share them and hope that perhaps they'll speak to you as well. This is Ecclesiastes 3, verses 1 through 8. Everything has its time. For everything there is a season, and a time for every matter under heaven. A time to be born, and a time to die. A time to plant, and a time to pluck up what is planted. A time to kill, and a time to heal. A time to break down, and a time to build up. A time to weep, and a time to laugh. A time to mourn, and a time to dance. A time to throw away stones, and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to seek, and a time to lose. a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. Everything has its time. For everything, there is a season. This season may not be the one that you planned. I heard it said recently that there isn't a person in the world who in 2016 wrote up their 5-year plan and got it right. So I get it. I get that this has been hard. I get that people are tired. I get that people have been and people are suffering. I get all of that. And my heart breaks for all who have and continue to struggle. But I also want to encourage us to not wish away the season we are in, to look for the opportunities to learn and grow, to look for the opportunities to serve and to help, to look at the season we are in and to thank God for the continued presence and the continued support of the Holy Spirit that is with us at all times and in all places that we find ourselves. Until next time, stay safe, take care, and God bless.